Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
It's the pursuit of excellence, the passion to build, to make things better. It's people, land, and an iconic breed of cattle, all coming together to produce delicious and nutritious dairy products. And none of it's possible without U.S. registered Holsteins, the world's perfect cow, and the people who raise them.
The value of registered Holsteins is the generations of breeding decisions. They milk better, they live longer.
We want to have the best cattle, and I feel like to do that, you have to register your herd.
I just love to work with a Holstein dairy cow, and so does my family, and it's awesome.
You just know that you're making a difference, whether it's feeding your family or feeding the world.
This is Holstein America. Hi, I'm Michelle Davidson, and with us again is Emily Bosch of Holstein Association USA. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too, Michelle.
So what's new since our last show?
Well, it has been a busy several months since our last episode of Holstein America. One highlight, of course, was our National Holstein Convention, which you'll hear more about later. We also continue to expand our programs and services. One example is we've added many new bulls to our Holstein Marketplace Sires lineup, which is a unique program because the bull owners retain ownership of their bulls, and we help market the bulls for them. We also continue to expand our partnerships with other breed organizations. So in addition to our multi-breed classification program, we're now going to be doing managerial services for the Ayrshire Breeder Association as well. And we're very excited to be at World Dairy Expo soon, which is a wonderful place to gather with Holstein friends and watch the beautiful black and white bovines in the show ring. And we're also very excited to be talking to our members and others about our new My Holstein online tag store in our World Dairy Expo booth as well.
So much to look forward to. Now, an example of the positive impact that Holstein Association USA makes on dairies is Cool Lawn Farm of Virginia.
We're at Cool Lawn Farm in Remington, Virginia. We're a fourth generation dairy farm. My grandfather moved here in 1970. We milk registered Holsteins and crop farming about 3,000 acres.
Cool Lawn Farm was started by my father when he left home with his father and his brothers and broke off on his own. Dad moved down here with 70 cows. He grew to 120 when I took over, and I've continued to grow to our present level of 950 some cows with an additional 1,300 replacement heifers.
I came back to the farm full-time in 2012. I graduated from Virginia Tech, did a few internships around the country. I was a participant in a Young Dairy Leader Institute, Class 11. I'm a big advocate of the Holstein Foundation, particularly YDLI. It was a pivotal step in my young professional dairy career. It was really good. It taught me a lot about dairy advocacy, how to talk to the public, and how to engage with the consumer in a positive way.
The Young Dairy Leaders Institute, the education they're getting outside of the farm by other mentors is very, very important to agriculture in general. I guess the Holstein Association has been an integral part of our growth because when we first started with DNA testing, Holstein was right there giving us advice and fulfilling our direction of where we were heading with a good mature dairy cow that's functional, that eats feed, consumes a lot of dry matter, and produces 100 pounds of milk. It's just been a fun trip.
In 2022, I purchased a farm from my mom and dad. At that time, we were in the process of building a much-needed milking parlor. It started as a double six, and it was time to update to our current 50 stall rotary that has been a night and day improvement for cows, cow comfort, efficiency, employees. It's just a pleasure being able to get the cows back and forth to their pen in half the amount of time as what they used to be.
You know, we milk 3 times a day. The milk goes to our local co-op, and we have a processor in Newport News, Virginia, who creates the Meyer brand. And we go as far as New York State, all the way to South Carolina.
Aside from milking cows, we also do ice cream. Move Through is the name of our ice cream shop. My younger sister, Taylor, she gets the fun task of making the ice cream and experimenting with new flavors, and she puts it through pretty strenuous quality tests before we take that base and make it into ice cream. So we want the consumer, the customer, to have the best experience and the best quality ice cream.
Our ice cream production has about 5 people. In 2010, we were making like 30 gallons of ice cream a week, and now we're making over 600 gallons a day.
A lot of people ask me, why don't you make cheese? You use more milk for cheese. I said, because I never saw anybody that wasn't smiling having ice cream, and I want to make people happy.
Now we've turned into a very aesthetically pleasing destination for people between Washington, D.C. and Charlottesville.
Because we built it at the intersection of 28 and 29, it has really provided us good visibility. It has been kind of a landmark now for people who are traveling. Knowing that we have our registered Holsteins making that high quality ice cream for these families to enjoy, it really makes a difference. We even have an ice cream called Holstein, which is vanilla with chocolate chunks. And I love when the customers always ask us, what is Holstein? Because we get the opportunity to tell them all about it.
I've been very blessed with my children returning home to the farm, Ben here on the dairy, my daughter in the ice cream business with us. If it wouldn't be those 2 children, I wouldn't be near as successful. And success is measured by the next generation.
Number one, I want to breed the best cows we can. We've come so far as feed efficiency and being able to put out butter fat and protein out of these cows and where we were even 10 years ago. I will continue to register all of our cattle and be an advocate of it. We want to have the best cattle, and I feel like to do that, you have to register your herd. I believe that people are going to continue to want dairy products, and we're just going to get better and more efficient with it. It's a good life.
A successful family in Minnesota has used registered Holsteins to create worldwide demand for their cattle. Here's their story.
Well, Hendel Farms has been in operation since 1869. Started by my great-grandfather. And in 1991, my brother Carl and I formed a partnership and started adding Holsteins. We currently have about 10 employees, including our herdsman, Luke Warner, who's been with us since 2010.
I started working here in high school, and then it turned into a passion of mine, and I've made a career out of it now.
Our operation, we consider animals that are going to be functional in the general population.
We want a cow that's moderately framed with solid feet and legs, that is a high producer of pounds of fat and protein, and has minimal health events throughout her lactation.
We make the majority of our money off milk sales, so the TPI formula really fits our breeding strategy quite well. We also market embryos internationally and sell bulls to AI domestically and internationally. We have a broad genetic base. We're able to achieve all our goals, we feel, very easily, because genomics increased our profitability a lot. It's always young animals that have high genomic merit.
There's just so many fascinating things that you could do with dairy cattle just on the genetic side. A big thing that I enjoy doing is going through with the classifier and just getting what his view is of the conformation of the cows on the herd. We can get an overview of where we're at with our breeding goals by looking at what our classification scores are.
All of our animals are registered, and because of being on the complete program, it's not as expensive to register the animals. and it's an easy system to use. Whatever I need to look up is easily accessed through the Holstein website. We use RFID tags in our automatic calf feeding system, and because we sell animals to AI companies, they all have to be 840 ID tagged. Once we got on the 840 system right away, we were able to streamline our system through the Holstein ID. Best thing about being a registered Holstein breeder is meeting a lot of people from around the country and having the opportunity to travel and see some of my genetics in different countries. You go to Holstein convention where I meet a lot of my friends from around the country. That's why I value being involved with the Holstein Association through the contacts of the people I meet and keep in touch with.
It's like a big community, and so by attending National Convention and meeting people from other parts of the country, you realize how much you actually have in common. We all still have that same passion, trying to create what our idea of an ideal cow is. Matt would take me to different Holstein sales that were going on to see and meet with registered Holstein farmers and help kind of open my eyes that there's a lot more to the dairy industry than waking up and feeding calves in the morning. We know each one of these cows just by looking at them across the barn, and there's a lot of passion that goes into the products. We put a lot of time and energy and sacrifice a lot in order to make a good product for people to eat and enjoy.
The cow is incredible. She can convert incredible amount of forage, things that we can't consume ourselves, but we can grow in large quantities really cheaply, and she can convert that to a product that's really high in nutrients. So it's a win-win situation for consumers to use dairy products for those reasons.
Bovolus Nasalgen 3 offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, PI3, and BRSV. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose Bovolus Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only intranasal that protects against viral and bacterial pneumonia. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
The Holstein cow has transformed into the best converter of feed to milk of any of the breeds. And the diverse ability of the genetics that you can use, there's so many more sires, so many more maternal lines that you can choose from. You can do so much more with a registered Holstein cow.
A single glass of milk is more than a tasty treat. It packs a nutritional punch with over 300 milligrams of calcium or 8 grams of protein. That's 20% of your daily requirement. Or 30% of vitamin D. Or 25% of vitamin A. Or, well, you get the point. Raise a glass to the world's perfect cow from your friends at Holstein Association USA.
The thing with the registered Holstein is it keeps you plugged in with the breed and what's going on within the breed and the progress of the breed. So by plugging our cows into the rest of the breed, we're along for the ride with the best breeders in the country, with the association that's out there looking for genetic progress. The Holstein cow is really a cash machine. So as the breed progresses, our cows benefit and progress with it.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. After more than 2 decades of leading the largest dairy breed organization in the world, Holstein Association USA's CEO, John Meyer, announced that he'll be retiring at the end of the year. Here are a few highlights of his career.
I've always said that dairy farmers are the kindest, most real, honest, hardworking people that I've ever met, and I've really felt honored to have the opportunity to work for dairy farmers for the last 23 years. One of the reasons that I think the Holstein Association has been successful over the years, in the 138 years of our existence, we've had only 9 CEOs. I think the Holstein Association USA is the most stable dairy organization in the world. Everything we do has the membership in mind. If our members are not going to become more profitable, more efficient, save money, any of those things, we have to sincerely question whether we should be spending time on this particular objective. And I've also had the benefit of working for great boards of directors. And that's been very, very helpful because, we've had some success at the places I've been, and none of that would have been possible without the great guidance and wisdom of the board of directors. One of the ways we've been successful is to have a structured management by objective business plan. And what that is a system where you clearly state out what your objectives for your organization are every year, and the board of directors then can hold, in this case, me, the CEO, accountable for getting those objectives done successfully. And it's all operates under the philosophy of what gets measured gets done. Always remember, first and foremost, it's the members that are the most important. This is a member organization. One of the greatest guys I ever worked for, Larry Tandy, he always would say, the members come first. And that's a critical part of this. You work for a member organization, it's their organization, and everything you do needs to be in their best interest. And finally, every time you buy a Holstein animal for your dairy farm, you're making an investment in the future of your dairy. So it behooves you to know as much about that investment as you can before spending your hard-earned dollar on this animal. Do you want to buy a pig in a poke, or do you want to know actually what it is you are buying? And look at it if you were going to hire someone to work on your dairy, or I were going to hire someone to work for me. I want a resume that's as detailed as possible so I can find out as much as I possibly can about this person who I'm investing in to come to work for me. Well, a Holstein Association registration paper and pedigree gives you just that. When the animal was born, where it was born, who owned it, what are the production records behind it, what are the genetics behind it, all of that critical information. Think about the amount of depth NFL managers, coaches, and scouting staffs go through when they go investing into their players that they're going to draft in the NFL draft. They want to know everything they possibly can about those football players that they're investing in. Similar to the information you get in a registration paper and pedigree with the Holstein Association. So think about that the next time you're looking at buying cattle. Do you want to just buy ordinary, generic, grade cattle that you know nothing about? Or do you want to buy and reinvest in your dairy with a registered Holstein animal? You want to get the best draft choice you can when you're putting that kind of investment into it.
We're joined now by none other than John Meyer. Welcome to the show, John. What a great segment to see.
Well, thank you, Michelle. It's good to see you again.
John, what will you remember most about your time as CEO of Holstein Association USA?
Well, the honor and privilege of working for the great people that I have for the last 23 years. I've always said that the dairy farmers of the United States are the greatest people in the world, and it's just been a joy working for them. And it's been a real treat to work with the Holstein team that I've worked with over the years.
Okay, so what are some of the changes that you'll remember the most?
We really added a lot of programs, products, and services in the time that I've been there with the association. The Holstein Complete program, which is a bundled program of services, has really been a game changer for the association, where members can take advantage of all of the basic programs that we have in one package, and there's a lot of advantages to that and cost effectiveness with that. And we're really one of the real leaders and innovators in bringing genomics to the dairy cattle community. Our work with Zoetis and the development of the Enlight program has really, really benefited dairy farmers, not only in the United States, but across the world. We bought Agritech Analytics Dairy Records Processing Center in Visalia, California in 2004, which was really a novel thing for a breed association to do. So we do dairy records processing there. That brought us to a whole new group of dairy farms in the western part of the United States, which has been outstanding. We started the Holstein Smart Lab at Western Kentucky University, where we're doing all of the latest product innovation testing there on their dairy farm at Western Kentucky, which has been great. We've started Holstein Marketplace Sires, which has been a great program where breeders can sell semen from their bulls directly to breeders. We market it for them. Our Holstein Foundation and youth programs have just really grown over the last 20 plus years. And of course, that's a big part of what we do at the Holstein Association, is working with these young people and developing future dairy leaders. And I really want to stress that it's been a team effort. As I've said many times before, I work with a tremendous team at the Holstein Association. The staff I've had the pleasure of working with has been absolutely excellent. And I really want to tip my hat to the Holstein Association USA Board of Directors. You know, I've worked for a lot of them over the last 23 years, and they've been a really talented group who gave a lot of time, energy, and effort to the association, and that's greatly appreciated. You know, the other things that we've done over the last 23 years is I think we've been innovators, and we're the kind of organization that people in the dairy community find desirable to be associated with. We have 3 PhD geneticists on our staff. We have another PhD scientist on our staff. We're always looking for what's next. You know, we focus on the current. We never lose track of our current objectives, but we're always looking what's going to be the next big thing. So we're known as a progressive breed association, not only in the United States, but the world. We're the largest breed association in the world. And the Holstein cow is becoming more popular each and every day. The production increases that it has in both milk, fat, and protein have been tremendous. So there's some real good energy with the association, and we look forward to continuing that as we go on into the future. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is what we're doing with you today, Michelle, is Holstein America. Back when we worked with Eric Grant in developing the Holstein America program, that was a real special thing for us. We've enjoyed working with you, and we've really become the broadcast voice for the dairy community since that time. So those are a few of the things that we've done over the last 20 years, and it's been a lot of fun. I say sometimes that this ain't your grandpappy's Holstein Association anymore, but it can be if you want it to be. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for all you have done for this organization. You have been a great leader. We certainly appreciate you. Holstein America will be right back after this break.
There may be less demanding work, but there's none more rewarding. We get it because we live it, so we know where you're coming from. And with new technology that's changing cattle care for the better, we'll take you where you want to go, with the tools to identify and monitor every animal in your herd, so you can give treatment that's tailored to each one, helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow. This is why Merck Animal Health works.
Our family's got 111 years invested in the registered Holstein cow. With all due respect to some other breeds, it's the only animal that's ever been bred on our farm. In that registered Holstein cow is the most marketable asset. She's the highest producing. She's got the longest life. So we're thankful that my great-grandfather bet on the right breed when he got started in 1910, and we've just continued that and plan to continue it for the next 100 years.
We've been working with the Holstein breed for over 100 years. One of the really important things about the Holstein breed that we love is the variety of the genetics that the Holstein breed has that no other dairy breed possesses. Every single animal in our herd is registered. It's really important to know the bloodlines of the cattle that we have. It lets us know where we came from, and it also lets us know where we're going. This is also very important for streamlining our processes and managing the genetics that we have. Really, when they say it's a complete program, it really is. From the day that a calf is born, the Holstein Association helps us track that animal for the rest of their life.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. And it sounds like the National Holstein Convention is becoming a must-attend event for dairy farmers everywhere. And the 2024 convention last summer in Salt Lake City was a huge success.
That's right, Michelle. National Holstein Convention has been a long-standing favorite for many of our members, and this year was no exception. Salt Lake City was a beautiful backdrop for members to explore and participate in convention activities as well. We had our Holstein Association USA annual meeting there, where members and delegates elected members to the board of directors. We celebrated our award winners at a special luncheon, and of course, there was lots of enthusiasm and excitement from the junior Holstein members who competed in a variety of contests there as well. We are looking forward to making plans for the 2025 National Holstein Convention being held in St. Louis as well.
You're always looking forward. And one of the convention's headline events, Holstein Horizons, shared cutting-edge information from industry-leading speakers and innovative dairy producers.
The speakers at Holstein Horizons this year ranged talking about things like the future of dairy cattle genetics and breeding beef on Holstein cattle as well. We're thrilled to be working on our speaker lineup for the 2025 convention already as well.
When it comes to on-farm processing and using registered Holsteins as the pathway to success, one of the great stories is more local in Iowa.
We're kind of a first-generation farm. Had beef cattle, custom-fed cattle, and in 2014 traded in beef cattle for dairy cows. My wife Heather, she just loves the Holstein cows, and registered Holsteins create a lot of value on our farm and on a lot of people's farms.
When I was in 5th grade, my family sold the cows and moved off the farm. I'd always loved the cows, and my mom's parents still milk cows. So they got me into showing cows at the county fair. I had made friends that showed registered Holsteins that they kind of all got me into the registered Holstein business. I went to college and met a beef farmer from Iowa, moved to Iowa. We had 38 acres, and our neighbor knocked on the door and he said, I have the 40 next to you and I'm gonna sell it. And our original plan was that we were going to just expand the feed yard. So we went to FSA, and it was kind of a joke around town that, you know, I was the dairy girl from Wisconsin. The FSA loan officer laughed and he said, well, Heather, I don't see your dairy cows here. Why don't you have those in your business plan? And I kind of fired back at him like what I wanted to do. And he said, well, if you make it cash flow, we'll lend you the money for it. We brought in our first 25 cows in October of 2014, and by 2015 we were up to 50 cows, but our milk check didn't change because the dairy market had dropped so much. So we kind of looked around at all of these investments that we had made, everything that we had done, and we went, what do we do now? We looked into a lot of things, but ultimately we thought value added was the route to go.
We just rented a little Main Street business, and it was, I think, $100 a month or something. Brought 500 pounds of cheese that we had made up in Wisconsin out of our cow milk down. Sold it within like a week or two. So we just kept taking their load up and it sold, and we started expanding, and we grew out of that store and went to the next store and grew out of that one within a year, and now we're in a 32,000 square foot building. They've been to cheese making classes. We took cheese out to the state fair and did really well for our first year making cheese. And we sell coffees and drinks and ice cream, and the milk, turning it into cheese and trying to get a value-added product is where it all started. And it's grown leaps and bounds from there.
Not all of us are lucky enough that we find our lifetime best friend through the Holstein Association, but I did. Kayla and I grew up showing at the county fair together, and she is the secret to our success. I can make cheese, but Kayla can make good cheese. We have had decent success in contests this year. We ended up tying for 3rd place in the Iowa Dairy Products Contest, and then we ended up 17th in the World Cheese Championship. It was the registered Holsteins that really opened up so many opportunities for me. Our tagline is cheese from cows you know. Our logo features our first 93-point cow. I've personally known 5 generations of her family, which is pretty awesome. So that's really cool that, you know, we've been able to bring that legacy into our story and when we tell our story.
The registered Holstein power is so great in people that truly love and appreciate the breed that it is actually amazing when we're in the store and we have a customer come in for cheese or just to look around, and Heather can get talking with them for hours about family lines and what bulls.
Our customers love it. They love that they know the names of the cows that produce their food. They love having a local source for their food. And the value of registered Holsteins is the generations of breeding decisions and the breeding decisions that you can make with the information that you know. You know, they milk better, they live longer.
They produce a lot of milk. We've had, our butter fat is really high. This winter we were at 4.8, 5 butter fat and close to a 4 protein. For us, the way we run our operation, I think that's pretty impressive.
You know, not everybody gets to do what they love, and not everybody gets to do what they love with their family. That's probably the best part. If you had asked me 5 years ago, this is not where I thought we would be. You know, we definitely wanted to have a creamery, but we never expected to have 2 stores, you know, to have the locker, to kind of be at the scale that we're at. Everything that we do is hinged around these Holsteins, and I don't think we would be nearly as successful as we are today without the support of all of the people that I got to know as a young junior Holstein member, and then the continued support as an adult member. We have the opportunity to give back to our community. We get to support all of the FFA groups and the 4-H'ers, and we try to support our schools a lot. So 5 years, if we had a little bit better work-life balance and, you know, we were continuing to make an impact in our community through our businesses, that's really where we would like to be. Community is really, really important to us and to what we do. You know, if we can just continue to grow what we do for our community, that would be really cool for us.
Another example of how Holstein Association USA has helped dairy farmers create opportunity is Wholesome American Beef. The program adds value to beef on Holstein calves and creates additional revenue for dairies.
Towns Farms has been in the family for probably 170 some years. For the most part, it's a pretty good place to milk cows. Our history from 1999 was with registered Holsteins.
The farm has been in my husband's family since 1851. We were given the Sesquicentennial Award in 2001. That's for 150 years in operation that could be traced back to members of the family. In 1999, we expanded to 500 cow dairy and have been at that level since then. The family became interested in registered cows as the kids, my husband and his brother, showed at the local fairs, and registered cows seemed to be the way to improve genetics quickly and to breed for cows that you want to take to the fair. So they have been concentrating on that and became really good.
It's pretty hard to beat the Holstein cow. I've had times where we've been able to get the milk, but the components seem to be better. I think our focus is more on components, knowing that we get paid for how many pounds of fat and how many pounds of protein. And so Probably 15 years ago, for us to average over 100 pounds a day wasn't a crazy thing, but back then it was a 3.5 fat and a 3.1 protein, and so far this month we're averaging 106 pounds per cow with a 4.1 fat and a 3.2 protein, so it makes a big difference. Well, my ideal cow isn't necessarily the great big cow, but efficiency still plays a part. It isn't necessarily how big your milk check is, how much you get to keep of it, but a cow that, really good on her feet and legs. With feet and legs, if we can't get a cow through the parlor, doesn't matter how good the rest of her is, because we're not going to make anything off her milk. So feet and legs are really important. People like to breed for the extremes, but there's a lot of traits where middle of the road, like rump angle and leg set and size, stature, some of those things, that it's still more, for me, the more ideal kind of cow.
In 2018, when we realized that we had way too many replacements, we started breeding wholesome beef on dairy. Some of our consultants advised us to think about breeding to beef, and that the value of the calves that were born from those matings would provide extra income.
It seems to make sense that if we can add some value on down through, for whether it's for us or for people we sell bull calves to, got to be a plus for us all.
We want to think of calving yeast too, to some extent, especially on our heifers, but the bigger the calves, the more value they are, and the beef on dairy calves are just bringing a lot of money that we couldn't even begin to have projected. So it's nice when milk prices drop that we can rely on it. The wholesome cross that we're going to be delivering here in a couple weeks is going to be added value for the guys that we sell them to. And we're hoping that this program is going to really thrive for the Holstein Association and be something that people in the Holstein breed are not afraid to do. It's just fun to work with animals, it's just fun to be around livestock and, take good care of them. You look into our barns and you see our cows, and those cows are happy. They're in bedded sand and getting fed once a day and feed pushed up all the time. And it's good that we can produce something to help feed the world, and we can take good care of them at the same time.
Holstein America will be right back.
Bovolus Nasalgen 3 offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, PI3, and BRSV. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose Bovolus Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only intranasal that protects against viral and bacterial pneumonia. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
When we do our farm tours, we talk about how every calf has its photo taken, it's attached to an application for registry, sent to the Holstein Association, recorded, and that with that we are able to trace their ancestry back to the late 1800s. People want to know that you care about how you're producing food, and I'm proud of the Holstein Association that they're there to do those things for us.
A single glass of milk is more than a tasty treat. It packs a nutritional punch with over 300 milligrams of calcium or 8 grams of protein. That's 20% of your daily requirement. Or 30% of vitamin D. Or 25% of vitamin A. Or, well, you get the point. Raise a glass to the world's perfect cow from your friends at Holstein Association USA.
Raising registered purebred Holstein cattle, it adds a premium to their value. When I market cattle, when I have that piece of paper, it matters. It's not just an everyday run-of-the-mill Holstein cow. We can tell you exactly where she's from, what she's out of, and predict her future through genomics as well. So to me, that's an added value, registering all our cattle.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. A lesson of raising U.S. registered Holsteins is the opportunity it creates for the next generation of dairy farmers, like this family in Minnesota.
Working with my dad is one of the best things that I could ever have asked for. If you mess up, he just shows you what to do and you do it right the next time, and that's how I learn.
It makes the hard work go easier when you know that everybody's behind you and farming with you.
I love registered Holsteins because you can go back to cow families. You remember the Grand Dam all the way back even farther, where the cow came from off of a different farm. That's something that me and my grandpa kind of have in common. We remember what the cattle looked like, what they classified.
She's great. She knows what's going on. 105 years ago, the family was originally from northern Minnesota. They were lumberjacks, and my grandmother didn't like the fact that they worked in the woods all week, and so they came here in southeastern Minnesota where there was more agriculture, more farming. And actually, my dad was born in this house 7 days after they moved here. Him and my grandmother actually pretty much ran the farm. My brother was in the partnership, and now his son, Jake, and my oldest son is in on the farm, and now the grandchildren are getting into the farming operation also. I just love the work with the Holstein dairy cow, and so does my family, and it's awesome.
Jake is also very nice to work with. He's like Dad. They're just both very chill people, and they care about the herd. They care about improving our herd.
I really like knowing that I'm running the same land that 3 other generations did. I love coming into the barn in the morning, and the cows are so happy. Just having pride in your heritage. And Brent's dad, Henry, has a lot to do with it. You know, he was here every day doing the mating and breeding and embryo flushes. We wouldn't have the herd we have today if it wasn't for all the work that he put into it.
We have 300 registered Holstein milking dairy cows, and we run a very high production level. I think today we're right just under 33,000 pounds of milk with a 4.4 fat and a 3.3 protein. You know, we very seldom average under 100 pounds a cow. They're great cows, and that's because of Holstein and because of everything that we do through them.
You just get more bang for your buck on the registered animal, and you just get so much information instead of guessing what is this cow. The genomics they do too now, it makes us money.
Genomic testing really helps us. You can see the wellness traits, for one thing, the daughter pregnancy rate, and it's like, well, what's the point of having something good if you can't get her bred and can't improve her offspring? And then another thing is how much longer they're going to live in the herd. One of my favorite cows in the barn right now is on her 7th lactation, and she's 92 points, and to me that is just very, very cool, because to get a very pretty cow, a high producer, she's cranking out like 150 pounds of milk, and she's a 7th lactation cow, and that's probably one of my favorite things to see, is just them doing well and producing more offspring.
The sound cows just have these sound calves, and you end up with more than what you need. We sell 30 head probably roughly a year. We take them to an auction in Wisconsin.
I talked to the auctioneer, and he has guys that want to come back and buy them again. He lets them know that our heifers are going because they've had good success with them. And guys like these registered cattle that come out of good herds, there's a premium for them. So that means a lot, and we pick animals that, they're good animals, and we're happy that other people can succeed with them. We're always looking at improving and getting the best results possible. Recently we added heat detection and rumination to our cows. It has been excellent.
I want to come back because I see the improvement from what my Grandpa Henry has done, what my dad has been doing, and seeing that improvement, it gives me this really good feeling that improvement is something I need in my life. I can't just be steady. I guess I need to improve my herd, improve everything. It's my turn now.
Merck Animal Health's Game Changer initiative celebrates farmers who are bettering their operations, ensuring their legacies, and improving their industry.
Arizona Dairy Company milks 3,250 registered Holsteins and farms 6,000 acres in southwestern Arizona. Efficiency, cow care, and continuous genetic improvement are top of mind for owner Justin Stewart.
We've been in business for about 51 years now. Last year was our 50th anniversary, and that's a long time to be in business. And one of our goals is to keep going. I think it's really important as part of that goal to pass on a legacy and pass on the good genetics that we're trying to achieve and efficiencies. We're trying to achieve that efficiency every single day.
A few years ago, after moving the dairy from Mesa, Arizona to its current location in Gila Bend, Justin installed Sense Hub Dairy Behavior Monitoring Technology.
Sense Hub had the most accuracy day in and day out, minute to minute, second to second, and then providing that data to us in an easy to read environment. The biggest overall impact of the collars has been time and money. It's saved our employees time and helped them detect health events and heat events, and they're able to find that quicker and more accurately. Knowing when the cow has a health event or a breeding event and the peak of that breeding time, that's a game changer. You know exactly when to breed that cow.
Sense Hub Dairy technology includes automatic sorting gates to bring even higher levels of efficiency and cow care.
The sort gates have helped us in many ways. As you can see behind me, we don't lock cows anymore, ever. So when you don't lock cows anymore, they're going to eat, they're going to be happier, they're going to produce more milk. Sort gates have helped to bring the cows to us. Merck Animal Health and Sense Hub technology has been a real game changer for myself and my family in our day-to-day operations. It helps us know without a shadow of a doubt how our cows are doing.
Greater efficiency and better cow care. Merck Animal Health, changing my game for the better.
There may be less demanding work, but there's none more rewarding. We get it because we live it, so we know where you're coming from. And with new technology that's changing cattle care for the better, we'll take you where you want to go with the tools to identify and monitor every animal in your herd so you can give treatment that's tailored to each one, helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow. This is why Merck Animal Health works.
U.S. registered Holsteins have the largest genetic base of any dairy breed in the world. We can look at anybody interested in being a dairy producer and say, what do you want? We can provide it for you. And that's to me is the economic beauty of Holstein, and the association then of course as a tremendous repository of information and data. So the Holstein is the most adaptable breed with that large genetic base that just does everybody a world of good in the dairy business.
We're members of the Holstein Association because we really believe in the quality of the data, and we believe that data drives everything. Data basically drives every decision on this farm. And if we don't have good data, then we can't make good decisions. And Holstein Association is a big part of that data for us. When you talk about sustainability, we're talking about putting the least amount of inputs and getting the most amount of output. And the registered Holstein, without a doubt, has proven that she can do that better than any other bovine on earth.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. Emily, in what way can people find out more about Holstein Association USA and this great breed of cattle?
There are many ways people can learn more about the Holstein Association. Of course, Holstein America is one of those ways, and we've seen many wonderful stories here today, including some of the next generation coming back to the farm. But in addition to that, we have our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn that people can follow along. We post regular updates there. We also have our YouTube channel and our website. We also have a quarterly publication, The Pulse, which features member stories, association updates, and other programs and services as well. So there's many ways that people can follow along and learn more about what's up here at Holstein USA.
And where can folks find you online?
You can find us online at holsteinusa.com.
So many great ways to connect. We return to Wisconsin, where a family is creating value and building a future with registered Holsteins.
Well, this farm was bought, my parents bought it in 1994. We started here, a partnership between my parents, Mike and Marcy. We milk roughly 60 cows here. BA is 113.8, I believe, right now. My wife Kathy and myself, my daughter Rachel, or as everybody knows her as George, she's here full time and she's a very big part of what we do. And then my son Mac, he's around here quite a bit as well.
It's a family gig. We get very little outside help other than making small squares of hay, and otherwise we try to do everything on our own. So that takes a lot of teamwork.
Having the opportunity to work with my dad and my brothers home at nights and on the weekends, my mom as well is also here. It just brings the family factor all together, and it's super exciting.
I was lucky enough to grow up with a registered Holstein herd that my parents had, and they've always had a really nice herd of cows there. And it's just something we've done from day one. Started with the 4-H and FFA and dairy judging, and grew up showing. We always went to a lot of shows as kids, and that was kind of our family outing.
He was taught well by his grandpa and his dad. He talks a lot about how his grandpa would give him different anecdotes for what to see in cattle. He has this uncanny way of seeing them as a calf already and knowing that they're going to be good.
We of course talk about everything a lot when we're milking together. Of course there's times where we disagree, but there's a lot of times where we do agree, and we both at the end of the day strive to make the same type of cow, a strong cow that can milk a lot and breed back quickly and make good daughters that we can breed back from in the future. He's very confident in what he wants to do, and he's very successful at what he's been able to accomplish.
What we try to do here is we try to build a herd that's built on type. We use the Holstein Association classification program. We take that quite seriously. We take a lot of pride in trying to achieve cows that score excellent, and beyond that, we take a lot of pride in the fact that we've had numerous 94-point cows.
We score religiously every 7 months. It's been a good program, and all the years we've been doing it, I think it's good to get that second set of eyes in your barn every now and then and give you an unbiased opinion. For us, classification, it's gotten to be now where we're just building pedigrees on these cows. You know, we're fortunate enough now we got several in here that got 5, 7, 8 generations of 92, 3, 4-point cows in the barn. And it took a long time to get those. We're just short of having 200 homebred excellent cows in this barn now. And it's still a good feeling when that classifier says, got her there, she's excellent 90 today. It's still a good feeling.
There's just so much that comes with farming and dairying, the amount of responsibility, the pride that you have in knowing that you've accomplished as much as you have, the work ethic, especially the work ethic that comes with it. You just know that you're making a difference, whether it's feeding your family or feeding the world.
I've seen family farms where they pass it down to the next generation, and so much change. I like where we're at and what we're doing, that in 5 years I'd like to say we're doing about the same thing that we are, striving to make more 94 and excellent cows with great pedigrees.
Being able to take a pedigree into my own hand and just building it and developing it from calf to cow to maturing into an aged cow that has made her mark on this farm. That's my favorite thing, is just watching the development of these cows. The registered program for me it's just the way cows should be done.
The secret to getting good cows is you got to have good cows, breed them to good bulls, and try to take really good care of them. And it's kind of that simple. Don't think for a second I did this by myself, because I didn't. I did it with my family, I did it with my wife, I did it with my kids. It has to be everybody pulling the rope in the same direction.
Since 2018, Holstein America has shared stories of America's registered Holstein breeders to a worldwide audience. It's the only nationally televised program devoted to the dairy community. For 3 years running, this program was named Best Documentary at the 2024 Agricultural Media Summit. And that's not possible without you, the viewer, and the 100+ farms we've featured so far on this show. And thank you to John and to you, Emily, for joining us today.
It's been great, Michelle.
We certainly appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time with Holstein America. I'm Michelle Davidson.